In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 pillars that I have been developing over the past 5 years that have really given me a structure as a creative professional and artist to bring my visions and my dreams into the world in a way that allows me to change and transform as a being and to truly bring my dream and my vision into reality. And I think if you caught my last video, that is a really deep part of what being an artist actually is being able to tap into something that does not yet exist and to understand how to use our materials and our process to bring that into form. Artists are the dream weavers, we are the creators of culture, we are the ones who are able to see what is needed in the world and use our craft, whatever it may be, to bring that into reality. I also want to really expand the concept of what artist is. For me, it means whatever realm of our life that we spend time to really craft a sense of refinement and process and practice. So that might be music, that might be creating food, it might be gardening, it might be architecture, it might be making clothes, it may be painting or drawing or some of these more traditional arts that we've seen, but even learning how to relate really well or learning how to gather people and facilitate conversation or host a podcast or create websites, like all of these are forms of artistry. So I'd love, as we delve into this conversation, to just hold that as part of the landscape and the ethos. So the 3 pillars. The first one is Anima. And Anima is the essence, the lattice work that creates everything in life. And if you take a moment just now, close your eyes or just soften your gaze inward if you're driving, and really feel what is present inside, that is life. It's happening all around us, always is, always will be, and that essence is the core heart of creativity. So as artists, we often think that our craft is out there, something that we need to be doing out in the world. But when we focus on tending our relationship with animism, tending our relationship with life force energy, then we are actually cultivating the wellspring of creativity within us. The second pillar is alchemy. And alchemy is the internal work where we start transmuting our relationship with life force energy into form. And alchemy is an old term, right? And it has a lot of connotations, but it is built on the ability to transform and to change. And so when we hold artistry in this spectrum where we have life force on one side and we have a realized vision on the other, alchemy is the space in between that allows us to take a vision and a dream that comes from life force, that comes from inspiration, and to start to work with it, to allow it to change us, to allow ourselves to change perspective and become a different person, to allow this dream to come into reality. And then the third piece is artistry. It is the craft, the mastery, the ability to bring something into form. So alchemy stands as a bridge between these two spaces, the bridge between the mystery and the unseen realms and the dream world. And artistry lives in the craft of the present moment. And that's not to say that that might not also be a bit more ethereal in nature. Like, artistry doesn't necessarily have to mean the craft of a vessel or something physical. Perhaps you are creating a space or an experience for people, but it's still the bringing it into reality. And in the space of alchemy, sitting in the middle, it's this recognition that as we bring a dream into form, it changes who we are. We meet parts of ourselves and discover elements of the world that we didn't know exist. And oftentimes, it's the place where we get most stuck. As artists, we can feel the yearning and the desire to bring something into form. And when we start to get into the resistances and the places in our bodies that are like, maybe it's wrong, maybe I shouldn't go there, maybe I'm not actually the person that's capable of this thing, it's easy to become stagnant in the fear, in the doubt, in the resistance. And so when we really center alchemy as part of the process and recognize that these elements of resistance or pushback that are coming up are actually the process unfolding in our being, and it's actually the material that needs to become a part of the final art piece. It's a part of what needs to change in us so that we can become the person capable of bringing that life force into form. That's really deeply when we become realized beings. And this path is a life path. It's not necessarily for the easeful and the sunshine and rainbows, as one would say. There's so much magic in it. Absolutely. But it's also gritty and messy and real, and that truth, that realness, is actually what we are so looking for as artists and people. We, in our current culture, have become so disconnected from a sense of real process, a real connection to how things are developed and formed, and how to be a sovereign being in the creation process. We've outsourced our decision making, our capacity to choose and listen to our intuition, our ability to believe in ourselves. And I think that's part of the emptiness and the yearning that we collectively feel as beings. So, for me, it's the most expansive, beautiful process that one can go through. It's a lifelong cultivation and journey. I will be continuing to share more about the intricate layers of these pillars and the processes around that has allowed me to be a successful business owner in the arts and to really share this richness that I feel is possible when we step into who we really are. See you next time.